Good morning, everybody. This is Lorraine.
And Jennifer.
And this morning, we're going to talk about collaborating.
I guess that's what you call it, or at least LinkedIn's calling it LinkedIn collaborative articles. I'm don't not sure I buy into that it's collaborative, but that's what they're calling it.
That that's what they're calling it. And I think this is open to content creators. I don't think everybody sees this in their feed. But if you're a content creator, every now and then you'll see in your feed, hey, or you even get an email that says, hey, you're one of a few subject matter experts invited to contribute to this article.
Yes, really good copy. Good job, LinkedIn. Trying to make somebody feel selective and that they're trying to pull that out. I think they've done a great job there. Uh, there's a lot of I'll just say it. I'm not gonna probably really participate in this, and I'm normally and Lorraine, I know you are too, like somebody that will jump on board to new trends, but I'm just not feeling good about this one.
So I was really excited when I first started getting the invitations because, again, they made me feel special.
Right.
And what I realized is the core article feels like it was written by AI. So we already know the quality of the core article.
It
It's
and it
ve-
was because they tell you, and if you go read the help documents, it was written by AI.
it's very generic. It's very generic.
Yeah.
And every now and then you see somebody who writes something really insightful and really interesting, but the vast majority of the comments and the collaborative contributions
Yeah.
are the
Generic.
human. Yeah, they're the generic human version. I've done a few, and every now and then I do. It's a topic that really speaks to me. So what do? I
Yeah.
take out my standard answer to that question,
Yeah.
and that's essentially what I write in that paragraph. But to me, for the time and effort that I'm spending on that article, there are a lot of other things I could be doing on LinkedIn. I think would get me more
Yeah, it would get
engagement.
you more reach, get you more in front of more people. I think also the time and energy to invest in just commenting on a collaborative article could be better used on writing a blog post, doing a podcast, doing a live video, like owning your own assets. This is one of the biggest problems I have with this is that if you're going to correctly answer this and you're going to answer it, truthfully of how you would do this, it's going to take some time and effort. And to put all that effort into a collaborative article that maybe might be seen like barely, I can't justify it.
See, that I think to me, the idea behind the collaborative article is intriguing. If you actually invite
Yeah.
experts to comment and you really get experts commenting, now this article not only is filled with good information, me as a user, I can go through and see who else commented on that article and
Yeah.
I can engage with them. Hey, I saw that you commented. I liked your comment. I want to connect.
And
The problem is there not enough people. I haven't seen any article that gets a ton of contributions.
if they are, they're very generic. I can tell that they're using AI to answer. They're not real conversations, in my opinion. And I think LinkedIn, and I know they are, their whole motive for using this is twofold. Number one, they have increased. You can use SEMrush or any third party tool. LinkedIn is showing more in search results in Google because of this. That is their motive. Number
Mhm.
two, they're trying to keep people on LinkedIn longer. And it is because they're trying to engage. So LinkedIn has its own motives for this. And so it doesn't align with my motives and what I want to do. Good for LinkedIn and good for anybody that goes for this strategy, but it's a no for me.
Well, if the article itself was shared broadly, if it was shared in really active groups and
Yeah,
there was engagement, I think it would have value to me as a user. But I don't see a lot of that.
yeah.
And I think you said something. There's not a lot of interaction. You know, the way the article would become really interesting is if there was a question, you answered it. And instead of pasting something generic, I really responded to what you wrote. And we had a conversation
You
inside this
can't do that.
article.
You can't comment on what other people have said, and so there is no conversation, it's just a bunch of shouting is what I
Mhm.
feel like, and it goes against one of my main principles that I believe in. Anything that you create on any social media platform should be on your website because you do not know at any given moment when an algorithm shifts, a platform goes away. And so creating content that only lives on a social media platform is a huge mistake.
Absolutely. And the thing with LinkedIn that's interesting is as a user is they don't mind if you cut and paste verbatim the blog post that you put on your website.
Yeah,
Every every article that I have put on LinkedIn either lives on my website or is a replica of my newsletter that's reaching a different audience. And
right.
so,
Yeah.
yeah,
But it is, if you do get in there, one thing I do like is it gives me a gold mine of ways to find topics that I can write about on my own
mhm,
blog, or I can do a podcast, or I can do a live show because people really truly are asking these questions. And so it's just like a topic research for me.
absolutely, absolutely, and that's why I think you have to toe in the water, and you have to occasionally post a comment in the collaborative article, even if it's not something you do regularly, because if you stop contributing,
Yeah,
you will stop seeing the invitations to contribute. So it is, like you said, it's great research. It also every now and then, every now and then, you get somebody who says something, and you're like, okay, I like that, or wow, I really don't like that. That's something I want to talk about.
yeah, yeah. My other reasoning for this is collaborative articles has been out for almost a year now, and there's not a critical like mass of like where it's been worth it for me to jump in. I think it's very
Mhm.
important that when algorithms shift and new things come out, that you do attempt it and you have that in your time that you are able to do that. For me, I've got a strategy going on that's working, and so I'm not gonna detour from it right now because it's working.
Well, and that I think is going to be a great conversation we're going to have coming up is LinkedIn community building strategies and looking at it both from a paid and a non-paid perspective, and what can you do to build your community, because there are things that you can do that will help you get to critical mass, to a point where even if the algorithm kind of ignores you, you're still connected to so many people. Your content is just showing up where it needs to show up.
It's that community building. It doesn't
Mhm.
matter the platform. If you build a community of people who want to hear what you have to say, it doesn't matter where you go. So if
Mhm.
you focus in on the content first and nailing that down, people are going to follow you whatever platform they're on.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think it is, if you figure out how to build a community, and the second piece of it is putting content that is relevant to the platform.
Yeah.
And so I think that's going to be not next week, but in 2 weeks, I think we'll have a conversation about
Yeah. How to
uh, how to build that community on LinkedIn.
or maybe LinkedIn strategies that are working. I don't know what we'll call it, but all
Yes,
right.
but watch your feed for that. But for now, just connect with Jen and I on LinkedIn and see what we're doing.
Or book some time with us at digitaltoolbox.club.
All right. Bye now.
Bye.